Howdy, y'all. Thanks again for joining me for another thought of the day. Today, I wanted to talk about the idea of excellence. Lexus had a whole ad campaign around this idea, right? The pursuit of excellence several years ago. Very inspiring for me to think about wanting to be the best that I can. And, a quote from Aristotle that has been way overused, but has always stuck with me is we are what we do repeatedly. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but it is a habit. And I wanted to talk about this idea of excellence because I've adopted this mentality, and people around me have been saying this to just survive. In this time of the pandemic and quarantine and all the difficulties, so many people are just trying to survive. And I get that. And I get that there's seasons where we just have to go with the flow and do the best we can with what we have. And just, sometimes we're just meeting the bare minimums. That's an idea that's kind of easy to latch onto, but it's very difficult to let go. And eventually, what happens is we settle for the status quo. We keep trying to strive for the minimum requirement when we adopt that mentality. I see it in students all the time. When their pursuit is just the bare minimum, it becomes a mindset and it becomes habitual, just like the Aristotle quote, and it becomes just a part of our daily routine. I remember when I joined the reserves. This was 2 years after I got my commission through ROTC. And my ROTC program was very intense. We worked really hard and we strove to be the best we can and we pushed each other. And then I spent about 2 years doing seminary. And at the time, they didn't know what to do with chaplain candidates. And so finally, they said, hey, you need to come back and you need to join a reserve unit and start learning some soldier skills. Even though you've been commissioned, just, it's good for your just for your officer skills and for you as a chaplain. And so I came into the reserves, and the first weekend we come back, of course, Murphy's Law, right? There was a PT test. And I was pretty sure that I could pass it, but I knew it would be quite a struggle. And the platoon sergeant comes up and says, "All right, for the APFT this weekend, I just want you to max the minimum. Max the minimum. Hey, we're not going for 300s here. We just get a 60 in each category, man. Just get 80, 180. Just pass. Just do the bare minimum to pass." Max the minimum. Such a great quote that has stuck with me all these years. And I thought, hey man, I could get behind that. Let's do that. Let's just strive for the minimum. Let's just pass. And I'll tell you what, that's the only time in my military career that I did not pass the run. I looked at the time and said, hey, if I just kind of waltz in there and take it easy, I can pass the run. But I actually missed it by about 15, 20 seconds. And I remember thinking after that APFT that I never want to live my life like that again. That just striving for the minimum makes it so that your bar is so low that it's easy to miss the mark. Rather, I've decided to live my life to set that bar as high as I can, because even if I don't hit that mark, at least I'll be higher than just the minimum and I'll do more than what's required. And so every aspect of my life, it's I've decided to not just live by the minimum, because when we strive for just the status quo, we ultimately hinder our physical health, but we also harm our mental health and our spiritual health. Because God wants us to be as excellent and do the best we can in all things. And so we have to strive for excellence. And we do that in all the little things and all the things that are given to us as responsibilities. We need to be striving for our excellence. And so remember what Aristotle said: we are what we do repeatedly. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but it is a habit. So I hope that we can strive for excellence every day in all that we have to do. Be blessed and do the best you can.